All right, Jim, this is your big moment. By the way, do you all know one of the great things? Can we just start off by saying a warm round of applause to the fantastic competence of the Trump for President campaign.
Yeah, without a
Susie
doubt.
Wiles, Chris LaCivita, Michael Whatley at the RNC. What a difference a campaign can make. And Jim and John McLaughlin on the polling. Thank you, Jim, for your great work.
And you know what? We've been with President Trump from the very beginning. Believe it or not, he talked about running back in 2011. And I can tell you, this campaign was head and shoulders above, better than anything we ever did in the past. And I can't tell you that Matt is exactly right. Susie Wiles, Chris LaCivita, Chairman Whatley, and I don't think I've ever complimented an RNC chairman. It was just unbelievable. But most of all, the guy we need to thank the most is Donald J. Trump.
Amen. Amen. And when you have, as we said on this stage, when you have confidence at the campaign and at the national committee, it makes it easier for the outside groups like CPAC to figure out their lanes. And I think we were able to do that effectively as well. So thank you all for your great support. We saved our country.
And I will tell you this. You know how I knew Donald Trump was going to win? The people in this room. Because when we did the CPAC polls over the years, and you had the mainstream media saying, you know, Donald Trump couldn't win again, Donald Trump was winning overwhelmingly, not by a little bit, overwhelmingly in every single CPAC poll. You guys knew. You guys knew he was going to win the primary. You all knew that he was going to win the general election no matter what the Democrats threw at us. So with that said, let me say first, thank you. We really appreciate you taking the poll. This is the grassroots. And I always say CPAC, the folks that attend CPAC, you all are the base of the base. And just so everybody knows, we had over 1,000 people take the CPAC straw poll this year. I thank you for that, and that's great. Don't forget, by the way, when you come back next year, take it as soon as you get here, and it works out really, really well. So with that being said, we asked a couple questions. One of them was, what would you say, and I'm hearing this from voters. We do focus groups. We do polls every single day. We said the first few weeks of Donald Trump's presidency have been the best for the modern conservative movement in my lifetime. What do you think about that? Well, 99% agreed with that. Think about that. We don't see 99% numbers. We weren't sure what this number was going to come out at. It's almost like I get these numbers back and I'm saying, is this right? But 99% say this is the best in their modern conservative history. Then we said, now that the Republicans have a majority control in both the House and the Senate, how important is it to you that they rapidly pass Donald Trump's agenda? Is that important to you? 99%. Again,
Who's this one guy who keeps voting wrong? If you guys find him, let me know. I want to have a beer with him afterwards and talk to him.
You guys know you took the poll. We got a lot of ballot security. We got to have the code, the whole 9 yards. I don't know. Maybe somebody from the press is sneaking in.
I think the problem is you're not using a strong enough adjective to say how good it all is. I think they want it to be even stronger. So you have to work on your diction there.
Oh, it's unbelievable. Then we asked, how do you feel about President Trump's cabinet? How do you feel about it? Remember, by the way, remember how the left-stream media, or I call it sometimes the USAID media, was telling us he was going to have trouble getting these folks through? Well, this is how you feel about his cabinet. 98% of you say you're either enthusiastic or you're satisfied with it. 89%, nearly 9 out of 10, said you're enthusiastic about his cabinet. Are you enthusiastic about them?
You know, I kind of feel like CPAC's been the first Trump cabinet meeting. You know, they were all here basically, so it's been pretty cool. These guys got an inside sight to it.
Oh, and then some. And by the way, I think virtually every member of his cabinet has spoken at CPAC
Absolutely.
in the past, not just this year.
Yeah, even the ones that are new to the coalition.
All right. Now, remember when Donald Trump is talking about and still talking about setting up a national security and an economic alliance with Greenland? And again, you know how the crazy Democrats, they say, oh, that doesn't make any sense. 93% of you approve of that because it just makes sense for economic reasons, for national security reasons. And by the way, we do a little bit of work over in Europe and whatnot. They also think it's a very good idea. Donald Trump, again, being a visionary. Then we asked you about Doge. Obviously, there's been a lot of talk about Doge and who should be making the decisions in how we cut wasteful government spending.
Can I just let you know,
Sure.
How many of you guys like that chainsaw? I call it the chromed out badass chainsaw. I just want you to know this great President Milei has told me that he's sending CPAC a chainsaw too, so it's coming our way as well. I probably would be a little more judicious in how I wield it, but I hope Elon wields it very aggressively.
Oh, I'm sure he will. I'm sure he's going to. And I don't know if anybody saw the tweet recently, where I guess it was the truth, where President Trump said he wants Doge to move even faster.
That doesn't surprise me.
Think about everything, and that's how he leads. That's how President Trump is doing history, doing things we've never seen done before. And when we asked you, who do we want in charge of Doge, either Congress or President Trump, what did you tell us? Trump, 89%, 89-5, because you trust him to make the right decisions.
Let me jump in on this a little bit, which is you have folks saying, okay, what does the Constitution say? What does the law say on all this spending? I just want to preface this by saying every time you heard a member of Congress and lots of Republican members of Congress tell you that spending fights are political losers, that shutting down the government is a political loser, that we have to go along with the Democrats on all this spending, we have to sign an omnibus, a mini bus, a short bus, a big bus, whatever this spending thing was, that had all of this crap for USAID and everything in it. And your message in this poll is, Congress, you have a job with budget and oversight. Do your job. And if you're not going to do your job, Trump should do the job.
Yep. And by the way, we're going to get to that one too. And with that said, okay, one time when I came to one of the CPACs, President Trump gave me a hard time because he only had a 95% job approval rating. And I said to him, I said, sir, nobody gets a 95% job approval rating. Trust me, Matt Schlapp, with Mercy and his 5 daughters, he doesn't have a 95% approval rating at his dinner table. So what kind of an approval rating does he have now? 99%. It's amazing. I've been working at a pollster now. I know you could never tell, but going on 4 decades now. I've been doing polling. We've never seen numbers like this. We've never seen anybody unite the conservative movement the way Donald Trump has done this. 95% say they strongly approve. It's literally amazing. And people say, you know, compare it to Reagan. And I said, it's way more popular than even Ronald Reagan was. And I never would have said this back in the day. Donald Trump has literally remade the conservative movement. He's remade the Republican Party. And it's because of his success. A lot of people say it's because of his personality. It's because he's been successful and he's doing exactly what you folks want him to do. So going back to Matt's point, do you think President Trump has been doing a better job, a worse job, or about the same as last time? And most of you folks thought he did a really good job last time. What do we have? 99% telling us he's doing a better job. And again, I was afraid people wouldn't say because they thought he did a good job last time. You got 99% again. And last but not least, we actually asked, because you guys are the conservative movement. You guys are the thought leaders, the opinion leaders. We asked folks who they thought would be the Republican nominee, who they preferred for the Republican for president in 2028. And who is it? Poll's right. J.D. Vance. And why? Because he's viewed as the closest thing to Donald Trump. So, and that's exactly why. So I just want to say thank you. We couldn't have won the electoral victory, the decisive electoral victory we had for President Trump, the House and the Senate. It all started with people like you in this room. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim, for your excellent work. He's a great board member. Give it up for Jim McLaughlin. And in absentia, your brother John, too, who we also love. Thanks, Jim.